Hey y'all, Strix here. Got Paradox chilling over there. We're here at a little spot we found to kind of chill out and hang out, I guess you could call it, here on Falls Lake in Raleigh. And I'm going about a new way, well, not really a new way, I'm sure people have been doing it for thousands of years, but new to me, a different way of building a fire. I've been doing this recently, last few trips, last few times we've gone out into the wilderness. And it's worked out really well. Seems to keep the fire going a bit longer, puts off a damn good amount of heat in my opinion, and keeps the coals really hot. Gets a good bed of coals, so much so that, you know, even on the following morning after it's rained a little throughout the night, the coals were still hot enough to get a fire going quick, fast, and in a hurry without any tinder, which is brilliant. Definitely good. But anyway, this is a fire pit we've used a couple times in the past here on Falls Lake, so I just dug it out and gone ahead and put together some wood. It's hard to find dry wood considering it rained this morning, but there was a good bit of dry wood on the hike up here. Got that squared away and just went ahead and chopped it down into a few different sizes. But, you know, with this new method that I'm trying, with this different method that I'm trying, it's different than how I've always learned and how I've always built a fire. I always started with, you know, some kindling and then putting some tinder in the kindling to get the kindling going and then just building up from that and get your fire going. But this way is a little bit different in that the initial bed that you put down is different. So let's give it a shot. All right, when putting down the initial bed, instead of in a traditional fashion, putting down the smallest wood first and building up from that, basically what I'm doing is laying down some larger wood first and foremost. And then what I'm doing, it's a cross pattern. It's similar to a log cabin, except I guess you could say the logs are stacked a little bit more close together. So I've laid down the two bits of larger wood. Then I'm taking what would be considered kindling, a little bit thicker than the kindling I'll be putting on top of the tinder, but just sitting this down here. And then basically what we're going to do is we're going to put the tinder on here, get this going, put this kindling on top of the tinder, and then build up from there. Now I've become a big believer in homemade tinder. In a pinch, of course, you can always use what Mother Nature has to offer. There's tinder everywhere. Might be a little tricky to find today with everything being so wet, but tinder is relatively easy to find if you know what you're looking for. But I feel that with some homemade tinder, it goes every time, and you don't have to work your ass off to get that spark to turn into a flame. You can buy this stuff in stores, Walmart, REI, online, etc. Or you can make it at home. It's pretty simple. You just take a cotton ball, which cotton balls are pretty cheap. You soak them in Vaseline and then kind of just compress them until they turn into these little balls or these little cubes. And then when you take it out into the wilderness, you pull it apart. And since Vaseline is a petroleum product, it takes a spark and turns into a flame pretty easily. And unlike most tinders, this will burn for 3 to 5 minutes, which is ample time. Even if it's a little wet outside, it's ample time to get a fire going on top of it. See, look at that, one strike. I'm not going to say it does it in one strike every single time. Most of the times it's 3 or 4 strikes, but it is pretty easy. And then, as you can see, get that going. Wait for it to burn a little bit. You don't want to smother your tinder. You do want to hurry up and get some wood onto it to get that going. And then basically just build up from here as you normally would with a traditional fire. If you haven't already been able to tell, I'm a fan of the TP method. It's a good way to get things going, since fire likes to go in an upward direction anyway. that'll continue to go. We've got a bit more fuel here to keep going for a little while. So I think we're just going to hang out. Would say enjoy the peace and serenity of the lake. Somebody seems to be approaching on a jet ski. Anyway, time to enjoy the fire.